I would say rather than focusing on learning any new language, you should focus on problem solving skills, because that's what these companies focus on.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another podcast powered by GrowJunction. I, Rituparna Bhaumik, will be the host for the day. And today we have with us Mr. Anurag Malik, Senior Software Engineer at Paytm. Hello, sir. How are you?
Hi, Ritu. I'm good. How about you?
I'm also good, sir. Sir, just as we know that currently you're not staying in India, right? So you have been staying in Canada. So again, there is a time zone difference in India as well as in Canada. So thank you so much for taking out time uh, on this Wednesday afternoon and honoring us. So, sir, before we begin, can we have a small introduction about you?
Yeah, sure. First of all, thanks for having me, Ritu. I would start with my introduction. Right now, I'm working near backend engineer, and I almost have around 5 years of work ex in the IT industry. When I started off my career, then I got a chance to work as a full stack developer, but then slowly I moved on to complete backend technologies. And yeah, so that's a bit about my work experience, and I'm sure as we go along you'll be diving more into
Yeah.
my experience. But yeah, that's the overall.
Yeah. Thank you so much, sir. So currently you're working at Paytm, right? So, what
Yeah.
is your job role in Paytm?
So at Paytm, we have different teams which are making use of different technologies. So a lot of different tech stack is being used across Paytm. So like everybody knows, Paytm is like the super app for money in India, right? So we are making use of a lot of technologies. But what my job currently is, that's mostly related to the microservices that we have. I have been associated with a team which have been building which has been involved in building new microservices from scratch, because we are actually in the process of uh, you know uh, completely modifying our architecture that's already running, and we are kind of upgrading it. So my job is basically to maintain and enhance the new features on those microservices that are being developed. And also we do look into the production issues as and when they appear. So most of my work is around microservices.
Okay. Okay. So, so just as we saw that you are a graduate from BITS Pilani, right? So
Yeah.
after your college, how did you start your career? Like, what was your work history? What all companies did you work for before Paytm?
Sure. So I'll share a small story with you. So when I was studying at BITS Pilani, I was doing my BTech in electronics and instrumentation. So I was not related to programming or coding anywhere. Okay, and I didn't even take any electives that were related to computer science or programming. But in my third year, I started off with small projects in Python with one of the professors at college, and from there my journey of computer science started actually. And once I was done with those projects, I kind of started exploring this field more, because I started developing a very good interest in this field. Although my BTech was in electronics and instrumentation and my master's was in chemistry, but I was going towards the IT field. So
Okay.
that was quite challenging for me initially, but then I got a hang of it as I completely dive deep into that. So I started off my career with an organization called Nuclear Software Exports. That's into providing financial services and is located in Noida. So I was given an internship with them for 1 year, and after that I joined them as a full-time employee after that.
Okay. Okay. So, before starting with Paytm, that was the only company you worked for, or
No. I had also worked for Snapdeal in between for
okay.
almost 1 year and a few months.
Okay, right. So there also you were in the IT domain,
Yes,
right?
yes, more or less. I was working on the same tech stack, but there was a big difference between the kind of work I was doing at Nucleus and the kind of work I was doing at Snapdeal, because again, Snapdeal had this complete microservice architecture which
Mm-hmm.
Nucleus didn't have. I was working on a monolith design when I was working back at Nucleus, but then after joining Snapdeal, I got exposure to microservice architecture, the problems related to the distributed systems, and I also got exposure to some metric tools like Kibana for logging, Grafana, and Pinpoint, and all those things like that the tools that I used extensively for maintaining the microservices and rolling out new releases. So it was quite a good learning experience over there as well.
Right. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
so what is the best part of you in for working for this company? What is the most exciting thing you feel that is while you're working for this company?
So are you talking about Paytm or are you
Yeah,
asking about
I'm
Snapdeal?
talking about Paytm. Yeah.
Oh, you're talking about Paytm. So the best part. Okay. So every day, since I've joined, we are developing at such a fast rate, and we are every day developing new features. So that thing has been really good, because every day you face a new challenge, you solve a new problem, and there's my learning curve has drastically, like it actually became exponential after joining Paytm, because I've gotten so much of learning opportunity, and as well as growth and leadership opportunities that I have got. So I'm really happy that for all the work and the time that I have been spending with this organization.
Yeah. So, okay. So, along with some exciting thing, challenges also come, right? So,
Yeah.
according to you, what are the challenges you are facing currently, or you face during your transition from one company to another?
So I was, there are some challenges that you have to face whenever you go out in the market looking out for a new job. And by the time I was working at Snapdeal, or maybe by the time I had completed my tenure with Nucleus, I was quite aware, because that is the thing that every company asks you in an interview, right? So I was quite aware about those data structures and algorithms. I had already identified the areas where I had to work upon and I had to spend time upon. So I won't say that those were quite challenging. That time was really challenging for me, because I knew where I had to put my efforts on. So those things were there. If you but initially when I had to I know I get a lot of messages from friends or juniors, like where to start. A lot of people don't know which pathway to follow, right? Because data structures is itself is a never ending field. It's like a deep ocean which cannot last, right?
Yeah.
So it's like you should have a proper plan to follow, and you should identify your weak areas. So that's what I did, and I think that has proven really good for me.
Okay, great. So, my question was that now that you're switching your organization, right? So, from a fintech to an e-commerce, which is Amazon. So, do you think that will you be
Mhm.
facing any kind of challenges during the transit, or you think it will be quite smooth for you because you have already working in Snapdeal? So, what do you think?
I think it shouldn't be a problem for me, because I've gathered almost 5 years of experience in this industry, and I know how things work. But again, having said that, I would say whenever you join a new organization, take some time to adapt to the new system, adapt to the technologies that are being used over there. But the same thing I have done with Paytm as well. So when I joined this team where I'm working at Paytm, this team was using Node.js, okay, and I didn't have any prior experience on this language. So it took me some time to get a hang of the new language. Along with that, I had to understand the system as well. It's a huge code base that's
Right.
there. So these challenges were there, but slowly when you spend time and put your efforts in that, so that thing is manageable. So I don't think there should be any major challenges that would be there after I join Amazon. But yeah, these kind of challenges will always be there, and I think that's the job of a software engineer to understand the system and code. So that should
Right.
be manageable.
Right. So,
Yeah.
so what do you think are a few useful tips, skills which a software engineer should possess, right, in order to be a successful, maybe a stack developer or uh, good in data analytics?
hmm So what I feel is, most of these tech giants or any big companies, they are looking for good problem solvers. Okay, rather than I see a lot of people put a lot of emphasis on learning a new language. Like we'll do Java, we'll do C, C++, we'll do Python as well. I would say rather than focusing on learning any new language, you should focus on problem solving skills, because that's what these companies focus on. And like I had multiple rounds of discussions in my Amazon interview process. So you are always given a choice of using your preferred programming language. No company would tell you that we want you to code in this particular language. So I would say you should always focus on solving problems. And you have to be a problem solver. So that's what good software engineers do.
Okay. Okay. So, just that you spoke about your Amazon interview, can you share
Mhm.
more information that how was the interview or the process?
Yeah, sure. So the first round is basically, so I'm talking about Canada. Okay, I'm not really
Okay.
aware what exactly
Yeah.
the process is there in India, but more or less it should be the same, apart from some differences, of course, because of the region and all that.
Yeah.
But usually the process involves a coding test, and then there would be first of all there would be a phone screening, then it would be a coding test, and then you would have multiple rounds of discussions that would be purely based on data structures and problem solving skills. And then you might have one or two rounds on high level design as well, wherein they would give you a problem and they would give you a system to design. You can expect a question like design Twitter form, or maybe design book my show. So these kind of questions. So on total, like there are around five or four rounds of discussion, like which are proper deep dive technical discussions.
Okay. And apart from
Yeah.
that, you have the personal interviews as well, right?
Sorry.
And apart from that, there is personal interview as well, right?
Yeah. So that's the phone screening round that I talked about.
Okay.
That was the first screening. After
Oh,
that, you start with the on-site interviews once you clear your coding online assessment.
okay. Okay.
Although in all the discussions, you again would be solving a coding challenge that would be given to you, but then the interview would be sitting with you, and you both will be kind of working on the problem, and you will be discussing continuously. You will be discussing the time complexity, the space complexity, or the different kind of ways by which you can solve a particular problem. So these kind of discussions.
Okay. Great. So we have quite a lot of audience who will be watching this podcast, and they are aspiring to get into this role as well, right? So what suggestions would you
Mhm.
give them?
So my first suggestion would be to stick to one uh, online resource and use it extensively to enhance your problem solving and coding skills. So I'm not endorsing any platform here, but I can share I use Lead Code Premium. And initially I was really in thoughts whether I should take the premium subscription or not, because there are a number of resources available like Geeks for Geeks. Then you have Interview Bit as well. That's also a very nice platform. Then there's Hacker Rank. But then Lead Code Premium for me has proved to be the Bible for all the interviews, because I spent so much time on it. My everyday was like working for Paytm and then on Lead Code. My full day looked like that. Either I was working for Paytm or I was on Lead Code, and the third thing was either I was sleeping. That's it. So that's working from home. So I would suggest stick to one resource that you like or love, and you really need to spend some time on enhancing your problem solving skills. And another important point that I would like to share is that never be afraid of rejection, because I have seen a lot of people who who if they fail one or two interviews, they get really not, because what I feel and what policy I followed was failure is a part of the success. So you can't clear all the interviews that you give. You will face rejections, but you should take them as your learning opportunities, not as something to be something to get disheartened for. So that's a very, very important point that I followed, because initially when I talk about my my days when I was a newbie, I had appeared for two or three interviews which I couldn't clear, and then after that my motivational level and my confidence level was like the minimum. And I know that this kind of feel is there with most of the candidates that are looking out for new jobs, right? So I think this is motivated and focused, and you will get good results in the end. That's for sure.
Right. So, we also have a few questions which ask that is it good to continue in one organization for long, or is it good to switch your organizations within maybe 2 years or 3 years or so?
Depends on what organization you are associated with and what kind of work you are doing. So I've seen people who have been in the same organization for like 10, 11 years, and they are quite happy over there. They don't want to move to another organization. Whereas if you talk about me, I have this Paytm is my third organization in 5 years of my work in the IT industry. So I think that thing depends on the kind of things you want from your job. You want work-life balance, you want good compensation, you want good projects, or you want a good brand. So I think that's something that is dependable on the kind of person you are and the kind of thing you expect from your job.
Right. Right, sir. So, thank you for answering all these questions so patiently. So, do you have anything else you want to share with us apart from these questions?
No, as of now I don't. But again, I would really like to wish all the very best for all the viewers and for their job search. And you can share my LinkedIn profile with all the viewers, or maybe with the video, and I can answer any questions for anyone. And if they need any kind of help, I'll always be there, because I always feel that I've always wanted to give back to the community. Like, you see, there's a page on LinkedIn where people keep on posting articles regarding their interview experiences with Amazon, Facebook, or big other tech companies. So I've learned a lot through those articles, and I myself want to contribute to as much as I can in helping the candidates who are looking out for cracking these kind of interviews.
Right. Right. Thank you so much, sir. And again, thank you so much for your time, and wishing you all the
Sure.
best for your career with Amazon. And we are definitely honored to have you today. And we look forward to seeing you in seeing you in person.
Thank you so much, Ritu. It was a pleasure. Thanks for calling me here. Thank you.